Hi guys, so I wanted to give a video as well as the breastfeeding tips. I wanted to do something on breast pumping. I knew after 6 weeks I was going to go back to work full time, and I knew that I was going to have to breast pump because, for one, Kylie was going to need milk, and I did not want her to have formula, so I wanted to make sure that she had my breast milk while I was gone, and the babysitter was going to be able to give her the breast milk. So I needed to make sure that I had a pump, and I did call my insurance, and my insurance provided me a Medela Pump and Style brand pump, which is great. I do love it. But I also have a manual pump that's by the Lansino brand that I do use. I don't even use my electric pump when I'm at work. My suggestion with pumping, I'll start out by, is don't start right away. I started right away and I overproduced and I got mastitis. Mastitis is very painful. It's a clogged duct. You don't want it. I got a fever. I got very sick with it. You definitely want to make sure that you don't start pumping right away. I started pumping even just like once or twice a day, and that was almost too much. So make sure that you don't start pumping. I would say maybe at 4 weeks, when baby is 4 weeks, and then you can start pumping. But just, I guess, go by however you feel. If you feel like you need to start pumping to get your stash going, then go ahead and do it. I had an amazing stash going, and I had so much milk. And once I got back to work, I still have a ton of milk, and I've been back to work for 4 to 6 weeks. So it definitely helps having a stash, especially if you plan on going back to work. Now, another thing that I suggest with pumping is if baby is feeding, pump. Like I mentioned earlier, you are going to lose 1 to 4 ounces while you are feeding baby. So it can't hurt to save that milk, and that will at least go towards your stash when you are going back to work and you need to dethaw any milk for baby to eat during the day while you're at work. While you are breast pumping, you're going to want to drink lots of water. It's the same as breastfeeding. Drink lots and lots of water. I can't stress that enough. First of all, when you're breastfeeding and breast pumping, you are so thirsty. It's unbelievable. So just have water on hand at all times. If for whatever reason you miss a feeding, then just make sure that you do pump, and then you can save that milk. Like I mentioned, you can give it to baby through the bottle, or you can save it and freeze it. That's a very good suggestion as well, is to just save as much milk as you can if you plan on going back to work. When you are breast pumping, I suggest using the Lansino brand. I don't know what they're called exactly, but I'll insert a picture right here. But you heat them up in the microwave for, I think, 11 seconds, and insert them into your bra, and you set them on your breast. I suggest doing that while you're pumping. The heat actually gets the milk flowing a lot. So if you insert those into your bras and then you put the pump on your bra in your bra as well, it's gonna get things going so quick. You're gonna be pumping in less time for sure. Now, you're gonna see a lot of different YouTubers saying different tips on when you're freezing your milk. So I use the Lansino brand bags for freezing, and they're great. I love them. They have a spout for pouring. They're just amazing. Now, when it comes down to freezing and labeling everything, I only put the date and the amount of milk that is in that bag. Now, some people put the time because, for whatever, I don't know how much of this is true, but sometimes people will put the time because in the morning milk to baby is like coffee to you. It lifts them up, it picks them up, it's like caffeine to them. I did it for like a week and I stopped doing it because I didn't feel it was necessary. And once I got back to work, I just combine all my milk into a mason jar. I'll do another video of my process and my schedule that I go through for work. But I put everything into a mason jar, and at the end of the day, I put it into a bottle, measure out how much milk I have, and then I pour it into the bags. But I don't put the time. I just go by date and then go from there, and I definitely just make sure I put how many ounces are in each. A suggestion for your pump is, like I said, I use the manual pump. When I'm done pumping, I set it in the fridge. At the end of the day, I wash all my parts. I don't wash my parts after every time I pump. Putting it in the fridge is going to make sure that the milk that's like sitting on the outsides of the parts or wherever on the parts, it's not going to go bad, so it's not bad milk. So I just put it in the fridge, and it prevents me from having to wash every time I pump, which is a big time saver for me. And then at the end of the day, I just wash all my parts and I let them dry, and then the next morning I put everything back together and I start all over again. Now, when you are labeling your bags, some people I was seeing, they put like what side they would feed on. Even for like recording, like I had the Medela iPhone app, and it wasn't necessary to even have any of that information on it. I recorded for a long time, but I didn't find it necessary whatsoever, so I just stopped doing that. I was big on recording everything, every time I fed, so I know when I fed next, but you're just going to feed when you feed is really what it comes down to, so I stopped even doing any of that. I would just suggest, for, like I said, putting the date and the number of ounces on your bags, and that's really all you need. So when you first start pumping, I was very discouraged with myself that I wasn't getting very much when I would pump. I would get like 2.5 ounces, and I felt that was not enough. Once you start breastfeeding and breast pumping a lot more, you're going to get more. So don't be discouraged on anything and just continue to do it, and whatever you get, you get. I would just drink lots of water and eat lots of oats, and I would start getting more milk. There's different things that you can do to help produce your milk and also help get your milk to flow a lot easier. Like I said, put those heated pads on and your milk is going to start going. And then there's different things, like you can massage your breast while you're going, and then it's going to help things go. If you shake your breast just a little bit, it's going to help a little bit. There's many things that you can do, and I'll do different videos throughout this time that will help with getting a lot more milk, or even to help breastfeed or pump fast. So I suggest when you plan on going somewhere, I would pump a little bit. Even if baby fed just now and you're ready to walk out the door, I generally 9 times out of 10 will make sure I will feed her to make sure she's content, and then I will pump a little bit, and then I will put that into a bottle. And if she gets fussy in the car, I'll hand her the bottle. What's the matter? You sleepy. But I highly suggest to always have a freshly expressed bottle on hand when you go in the car. I've had many car rides that are very frustrating because you have a crying baby. You either have to pull over or you're reaching behind you, which is very dangerous while you're in a car. So I highly suggest going somewhere after you express some milk into a bottle. Like I said, once you express that from your breast, it's good for 4 to 6 hours, so it's good for a while. You don't even have to worry about giving it to her right away. Now the difference between giving it to her, if you were to thaw and then warm up some of that milk, it's only good for an hour if it's already been frozen. So I would definitely highly suggest just pumping it and then giving it to her in the car if you need to. I would highly suggest purchasing a good breast cover or nursing cover as well. I had one at first and I didn't really like it, and I'll show all of this in the must-haves video. Sorry. What's the matter? Are you okay? What's the matter? What's the matter? You just want attention. That's my baby. That's my baby. Oh, now you're okay. Now you're okay. So I would highly suggest getting a very good nursing cover. The nursing cover that I had at first, I'll post everything in my must-haves video. It's going to have an actual video and show like everything that I have so that you know what to see in the store when you're looking for it. But I had a nursing cover at first and it didn't fully wrap around my body, and I loved it at first because it had a ring right here where I could see her while I was feeding.